Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome to Daily Dose Radio. This is Fair Trade Bible Study. And you know, when you think about fair trade, well, Daily Dose Radio is 100% fair trade because it's free, number one. I mean, all Bible studies should be free. And it's made from 100% Bible, no artificial ingredients, except for my cheesiness. It's organic, it's fresh, it's responsibly handled, it's locally grown. So, I mean, fair trade Bible study kind of, fits what we do here. If this is the first time that you've been to Daily Dose Radio and you're wondering, what in the world is this guy talking about? Let me just tell you that this Bible study is 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse. That's my little elevator speech. And we like to call this the Bible Bistro. So come on in, sit down. We'll have some fair trade Bible study today. We're looking this week at Psalm 46, and Psalm 46 is 11 verses, so we'll get the entire psalm in this week. This is another psalm of the sons of Korah. This one is to be played upon the alamoth. Not sure what the alamoth is, but some instrument perhaps, or perhaps some musical notation that delineates a kind of melody. This is a song, choir master of the sons of Korah, upon alamoth, a song. And then today we're going to look at verses 1 through 3. We're going to take the biggest bite today, and then we'll move on to the rest of the psalm, doing 2 verses a day this week. So let me read for you verses 1, 2, and 3. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with swelling thereof, Selah. So we have 3 verses here. We're going to begin in verse 1. God is our refuge and strength. This psalm begins and ends the exact same way, almost. Because here we have in verse 1, God is our refuge and strength. Go down to verse 11, and we have the God of Jacob is our refuge. So we just change basically a couple of words here, and we have pretty much the same statement, because that's what this psalm is about. This is a psalm of rejoicing in the protection, the ability of God to keep and protect his people. That's what this psalm does. It's a song which rejoices in God. And we start off right here with the very first thing. The principal idea is, and it's the principal idea that flows throughout the remainder of the psalm, God is our refuge and strength. Now, in verse 2, we have a therefore. So he's going to tell us why this is important. God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Of course, we've seen that word trouble before, haven't we? This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and delivered him out of all of his troubles. So here we are in trouble again. And even though we are in trouble, we know that God is our refuge and strength. He's a help in trouble. But then we have the therefore. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth be removed and the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea. So there's something happening here. So even if this happens, we're not going to be afraid. Why? Because God is our help in our trouble. Notice that we have 3 those here. Though the mountains be carried in the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. So there's some sort of reclassification of the face of the earth that God is doing. Even though that is happening, I will not be afraid. And notice the first person here, our refuge. We will not fear. You see, this is very personal. This is a beautiful confession of faith in the very help and present assistance of God. He is our strength. Join me again tomorrow. We'll look at verses 4 and 5 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.